Live from New York City. This is the real Tony Cohen. I've not done a hangout for a little while, so I've got some great ideas that are working on a new project. There's a bunch of us working on. And without going into too much details, we have Bruce on the line. Whereabouts in the world are you, Bruce?
In Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Sioux Falls, South Dakota. That's one of those places I heard of but never been to. It sounds so exotic.
Yeah, it's real exotic. Yeah, out in the hinterland.
No, it's North Dakota that's the Badlands, isn't it?
No, that's South Dakota. Well, there's Badlands in the North Dakota, but the main Badlands are in South Dakota. Mount Rushmore. If you're a biker, then you know the Sturgis Biker Rally in Sturgis, South Dakota. If you're a motorcyclist,
I'll plead the fifth.
Okay.
So what we're going to talk about today, as is the title is, I Can Prove It. So you and I, Bruce, are both working with some other people on a project that's been in the testing stages for a few years now. It's utilized by the SEAL teams, by NASA. And I'm not going to do anything technical about this because I'm not a technical person. But I am going to simplify it. So the point of this video here is not so much the technical side of what we're doing, but this is going to be available to the public. By the time someone's watching this on a recording, right now it is the 7th of July, 2015. A month from now, 6 weeks from now, some of this stuff may be available to the general public, or will be available to the general public. And right now it's by invitation only, and I know I've got an invitation left. I'm running through them at a rapid rate because people are just taking up on this. So what is it we're talking about here? And more to the point, how can I help you guys watching turn this into a passive income for you? And I mean passive. That term is used a lot by a lot of people. But passive to me is not on the phone talking with people, calling people all day long. That's not passive. Passive is, we're going to explain in a second. I'm sat right by an air conditioning unit, and I think it's blowing dust in from outside. I'm in the Badlands of Brooklyn right now. So, well, I won't tell you what it smells like, but somewhat like Colorado, I think, outside at the moment. Anyway. So what I want to talk about here is that it's just very, very basically what we're working on here. You and I have both tested this product, Bruce, yeah?
Yes.
Still testing it.
Oh, yeah.
I stopped weighing myself because it's not a weight loss product. It's based on the science of ketosis. Now, ketosis is something that we're born with. It's natural. However, to bring it on, literally, someone has to starve themselves for about 48 hours. What ketosis does is makes the body work how it's supposed to work. Since we're on a largely Western diet, which is a lot of carbs, a lot of sugars, not necessarily meaning making sandwiches. I mean, it's in everything we're eating, especially, this stuff's just everywhere. Our body's designed to run like a hybrid. If we keep eating that, one of the motors basically stops working. So as a hybrid has one motor for rapid acceleration and one for cruising, our body's designed like that. We run off the food, sugars, glucose that we're eating, and we run off the ketones, which is essentially stored fats. But because our diets, and I say diet, our nutrition in the Western world is heavily laden with certain things, especially if you're eating processed food. Basically, one of our motors is not being employed. So, and that's the ketosis motor. Now, the other benefit is reducing ketosis. It is, if you starve yourself, you'll start running on stored fat. And the first place we store fat is generally the torso and around the organs. The downside of that is, if you imagine that's your heart, that's your liver, the kidneys, whatever, and all of a sudden it's surrounded and stifled by this stored fat, and it creates inflammation, which in itself leads to all kinds of what I would call 20th and 21st century health issues. Diabetes is an issue, just all kinds of stuff. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not getting into. I'm going to do the waiver and say don't take medical advice from me. What we're talking about here, what we're doing, and I found out about this. It's something I've been watching and waiting for about a year. Since I think we both worked in another business together, even though we didn't really work together. I think we were both working in another business, and I used to use a lot of supplements. I don't anymore. I used to use them. I train a lot. I instruct a lot. Self-defense training. I've always got joint pains, broken fingers, all kinds of stuff. And I was using a lot of stuff, and then the market, the company, as far as I was concerned, became non-existent. And I've been seeking a solution to my health challenges, my pain challenges. So not even a couple of months ago, I want to say about 7 weeks ago, I got sent 2 envelopes of white powder, which in New York, I guess, is kind of a normal thing, with some strips to take a leak on, which I thought was a bit odd. So what these were ketones, and I really had no idea as to what they were. I took one a day for 2 days. I was told do a test, and it's similar to a type 2 diabetic test. You can see if your body's in a state of ketosis. You can test yourself. Normally it takes 48 hours. You can do it in less than an hour, basically by triggering our own body. So in a nutshell, this stuff is used, as I said, by the SEAL teams and by NASA and athletes, and it's still not on the market. We got the global rights to this proprietary blend. It's not on the market. I'm sure that will change. I'm sure that will change, and there'll be maybe companies popping up doing similar things 2-3 years from now. Doesn't concern me right now. The point of this call is, in the last month, I have had, I don't know exact figures, maybe 15 people, yourself included, Bruce, and a few others watching this right now, want to know what I'm doing. I haven't approached anybody. They want to know what I'm doing. How I get, and for those of you, if you're not watching this and not on my Facebook, Tony Cohen, I usually come out on top. The real Tony Cohen's on there. There's before and after pictures, which we've all seen, and I've done this before. The last time I did it, I got myself out of shape because I had an injury training, I couldn't train, and basically spent a month on the road in Texas eating garbage. Got myself in terrible shape. Took 90 days of going to the gym for 2-3 hours a day, spending $500-600 per month on supplements, watching everything I was eating to get in shape. That took 90, probably more like 100 days in reality. This time, I didn't actually change a lot. I stopped eating meat purely for the reasons, a lot of the meat I was eating, pastrami and things like that, I was kind of feeling it probably wasn't as healthy as I thought. The additives that go in there and all the rest of it. So I stopped doing that. What else did I change? Nothing really. That was about it. So I replaced meat for fish. I started taking the ketones. I thought it was just me. I started dropping about 1 pound a day. But it wasn't weight loss. It was fat loss. It was all coming off the middle, which is where I had the challenge in the past. So I started asking other people, are you dropping up like 1 pound a day? And everyone seemed to be pretty much across the board doing the same thing. Now, this obviously results vary based on the individual. If you've not got that 1 pound a day to lose, you're not going to lose it. However, what I did feel, I stopped having afternoon naps. I always have afternoon naps, just didn't need them anymore. The joint support stuff I used to use and stopped using a year ago. So I could only walk so far, 3, 4, 5 miles. I live in New York City, it's no big deal. But now I could find, there was one day I did almost 20 miles without any pain the next day. And just sleeping better, more clarity. And then the more I'm finding out about ketosis, keto diets, ketones in general, it's an overall encompassing health benefit. And I believe we've just been approved by the NFL, which is kind of a big deal for head injuries. I know there's tests being done on, there's tests and research being done on Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, again with ketosis. If you think it's noisy outside, I am in New York City. There's 14 million of us here. There's always noise outside. So that's essentially it. But what did I do to create an income? Because right now there's about, I don't know, 15 of you watching this. And you're all doing exactly the same thing as me in terms of taking the product, getting in shape. Some of you may be a bit more stringent on the diet than others. When I say diet, I don't mean going on a diet, just being balancing. I found that I'm just not as hungry these days. However, why is it that I can just get into a business and turn it into income straight away? And sometimes some others can't. Here's what I'll say about anything. I go watch someone that's already doing it. I copy what they do. I be a bit creative a little bit with content. And I make it work. And this is not just my theory. This is also working for other people. I spoke with a couple of people today. 100% of my business on this particular program, everything, all of it, is just coming inbound through Facebook. I've not even picked up the phone. I've not done anything. So how do I attract that business in the door? Well, Tony, it's okay for you. People know who you are, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, they do. And that's not always in my favor. What I did was very simple. After about a week, I started showing results. The first day I tested this, I showed a test on Facebook of the ketosis kicking in, but they're just little tag test strip things. They don't really mean a lot to anyone. So I'm not trying to be the great educator on ketones, ketosis, blah 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 blah. Okay, I'm just not. What I'm trying to do, or what I am doing, is this was me then. This is me 7 days later. This is me 8 days later. This is me 9 days later. So now I'm on day 39. But I don't always put my own pictures on there. And ladies, I get it totally if you don't want to put topless pictures on there. Apparently, Zuckerberg doesn't like that sort of stuff on his Facebook. However, there's now results from other people. You can utilize other people's results and pictures. Do I ask someone before I use their before and after pictures? No, never. Okay. Same as mine. If they're up there on Facebook, as far as I'm concerned, mine's public, they're fair game for anyone. Use them. Use mine if you don't have your own. Use them on a consistent basis, at least once a day. What I don't do, and I stopped doing this years ago with anything, I rarely mention companies. It's a little bit of guesswork. So I'm just piquing people's curiosity so they know what I want to do. I've not made it like the billboard, come and get new Wonder Soap, or whatever it may be. So that's all I've done. And all my business has come through inbox inquiries, all of it. What's this thing you're doing? What are you doing? How does it work? I don't even get into it with people. I don't even get in conversations with people about it. What I try and do is filter out the people who are going to drain my time. Not a rude thing. I'm busy. So So what I do is I ask them, you know, what is it your questions about? Okay, take a look at these 2 quick videos. Tell me what you think. I think one of them is 30 seconds long, and the other one's maybe 3 minutes long. The videos themselves, I've had a few people ask me, did Spielberg make them? They really are impressive. Even though, information-wise, there's not a great deal on them, they're worth looking at. Then from that point, what happens after that? I just tell people it's not available to the public. It will be available in a few months' time. Right now, it's invitation only. And I leave it. The next question inevitably is, how do I get an invitation? So I use mine very sparingly. I use them as leverage. I don't just, you know, I tried it, just throwing invites out, it got me nowhere. And also the way the system works, at the moment, these invites are very, very limited. So what I found is by being a little cryptic and just utilizing the process of a picture is worth 1,000 words, I'm just using the pictures. Now and again, I'll copy an article on something to do with food, but my Facebook's the same as it was before, apart from the pictures. So what does that mean? I asked other people, they're doing the same thing. Some people it's harder for. If you're already in great shape to start with, your before and after pictures are not going to look that much different. So I have that leverage. In which case, if someone is like that, and I know there are people on the line right now, if someone is like that, use someone else's before and after pictures. There was one today I put up, I think it was today or yesterday. In about 45 days or 40 days, there's a guy lost 41 pounds. So I used his before and after picture. Everyone wants to see me. You know, I use anyone's. But it's the same, and it's consistency. Not all day, every day. Mix it in with your regular Facebook. Create some interest, create some traffic. Do I have a pattern of what time I do it? I do it 9 o'clock in the morning just because that's convenient for me. No, there's no science behind it. You don't need a social media guru to understand this. It is, yeah, that's close enough. Now, if you're putting it out there at 3 in the morning, you're probably going to get viewers from the other side of the world. So be a little bit mindful. Right now, the invites really are going to be utilized in the States. Right now, very simple process. Get those pictures out starting tomorrow, starting tonight. Put a before and after picture out. Not everyone with the same one every day. Go on the what's it called? Keto. What's it called, Bruce? Is it Keto Movement of Proof?
Pardon?
What's the group called? Is it Keto Movement of Proof?
Movement of Proof, yeah.
Movement of Proof it is, and also there's yeah, it's that one, and it's before and after. So utilize them. There's always pictures on there. Utilize them. You get someone that's interested. By interested, I mean they've asked me for an invitation. I add them to the group. They can see what's going on. I'm not worried that, oh, if I add them to the group, somebody else will start working with them. I don't think like that. So I get them involved pretty quick. I don't drive them mad. I don't chase them down. Some people do a little follow-up occasionally. A couple of days later, I'll just send a message out saying hello. I don't send a message out saying, did you watch videos yet? They'll tell me if they did or they didn't. And what's happening now is a constant influx of people in various stages. So, yeah, Tony, I'm going to, I've got the invite. I'm going to get some stuff next week when I get paid. Or, yeah, I'm going to wait for it to go public. I'm not interested in running a business, but I do want the product. Or just across the board. And, you know, it's various. So there's no magic to this if we simplify it. Before and after picture, you'll get inboxes. When you get inboxes, it's not the sort of thing that needs explaining. There's a couple, like the videos, like the company videos, do all the work for you. When that's happened, the people that engage back with you, and frequently it's just, how do I get it? Simple as that. Well, it's not available to the public. It's invitation only. And then I be quiet. The next question is inevitably, how do I get an invitation? Because that's a logical follow-up. So I just said no explanation with it at all. If if someone asks me about money, which occasionally they do, I just break it down. Well, you know what, you lose. It seems to be most people that need to lose some weight, and that is the picture. I can't really show before and after pictures of people getting healthier. I can show. Just give me 1 second, Bruce. I can't really show. Sorry about that, Bruce. I can't really show. Yeah, you there?
Yep, no problem.
Is the front door locked, Brittany? Ah, okay. Sorry. So that's all I can. That's what I do, and I just every day make sure those pictures. And what happens is, if you know anything about social media, 7%. Sorry, let me get this right. 3% of people comment. 7% like. 90% watch. So everyone's watching what's going on. And every day it's like a constant trickle feed. I keep putting the pictures out there, the inboxes keep coming in. What I've not done is gone, okay, if I put a picture out there, I get 2 inboxes or 3 or 4 or 5, which is generally, kind of normal for a day. I've not gone, right, if I put 20 pictures out there today, I'll get 20 times as many. So it's a balance. If something looks too much one way, we kind of lose our audience a little bit. Something else that I learned from 2 years working predominantly with weight loss clients, well, it wasn't essentially just weight loss, it's just the way it enrolled. What I found is if you talk with people directly about their weight, it's kind of a touchy subject. If they come to you, it's perfectly okay. On the sample side of it, so the next step, put the before and after out there, send the videos. If they ask for an invitation, send it. If they don't ask, don't send it. Because we all get all this stuff every day. If someone's not asked, I'm not going to send. I value the invitations. Now, at that point, what will happen is they'll want product, or I should say a percentage of them want product. It's a fully automated system. It doesn't require me to walk anyone through it. It's just completely automated. If they don't, if they're umming and ahhing, just get the name and address and say, can I send you a couple of days of samples and give me some feedback on it? 2 days of samples and 2 days of samples, some keto strips so they can test themselves. And again, business comes in that way. Right, I'm constantly out of samples. So right now, I'm not really even getting to that point. I'm getting to the point people are just watching and joining. Watch and join, watch and join, watch and join, watch and join. However, to get the ball rolling, and you've all got samples if you're working with us, don't, if you're giving them out willy-nilly to everyone, you're going to find yourself out of samples very fast. And I made that mistake as well. So did it work giving samples out? Yeah. Not just willy-nilly to anyone. I've got bags full of samples of other stuff here that are just bags full of samples. I haven't done anything with it. No explanation. Someone just gave it to me. So that's essentially it. It's not a lot more complicated than that. Bruce, I'm going to bring you in on this from the Badlands of South Dakota. Do you have any questions at all, my friend?
No, you're covering it pretty good.
The idea is to just keep it as simple as possible. Passive to me is, I guess it might be slightly different on Android phones. I don't know how they work. So I've got my videos on, let's see here. On the iPhones, there is something called Notes. If I open my Notes, I've got the, where are we here? Let me find it. I'll post this one because this one people can't get in. So I've got my Notes. I don't know if you see that. That won't work if you're trying it. There's a code for it. Yeah. So all I need to do is forward that to whoever it is. So I can do the whole thing off my phone. And a simple way of doing it, I send that's the video link. There's 2 video links. There's not send me your link, because there's thousands of links out there for all kinds of stuff. This is unique. There's nothing at all like this on the planet. It's fairly straightforward. It doesn't really need selling at all because it's based on results. So get the results, share the results, social media. People ask for more information, send the video, let the company videos do the work. The key thing is letting them know it's not available to the public. It's invitation only. They're going to ask you how to get an invite. That's it. If someone's sat on an invite for 48 hours and not done anything, I'll say a quick hello. If there's no answer, I need to rehash that invite. Someone else wants it. So how the system works, if you're not aware, you start working with us, you get 5 invites. When 5 people are, when you've got 5 clients, you'll get another, I think it's 10, 15 invites, I can't remember. And that's it. So you're not going to run out. It doesn't run out at 5. However, what I would say is use them sparingly. Let people ask you for them. So there's a little process here that's very, very simple, but not time-consuming at all. Someone asked me right this second, can you tell me some more information? Yeah, sure. You know what? I'm going to send you two videos now, 30-second one and a 3-minute one. Can you watch a video right now? Yeah, have you got 3 minutes right now? Okay. Watch this. Get right back to me. Tell me what you think. And this is a personal thing. Some people chase people up. Personally, I don't like being chased up for anything, so I don't do it to others. However, I also am aware of where I live and where some other people live. Where I am, it's very. Sometimes you don't see your best friends for years on end. It's not unusual, even if they live down the block. It's kind of different. There's no school mom runs here. There's not, in fact, not really any cars. That type of stuff is not really a New York City thing. So there's not communal places, be it there's gyms. Okay, one thing I will say is I never had a lot of success in gyms before. I got all mine with other businesses through Facebook. So I've adopted that policy, just Facebook, all inbound, and it's working. Are the people doing better than me? Yeah. Yeah, there are. What are they doing? I don't know. They may have had existing businesses before that are similar. I honestly don't know. They may work in gyms like yourself, Bruce. I don't know. For me, I'm just a regular guy that messes around on Facebook all day long. It seems to work for me, and it's building. So in order for us to grow, I want to help you guys that are watching, and Bruce yourself on the panel, just get this step by step down. And it's very, very simple. So do you have any questions before we wrap this, Bruce?
Nope. Other than the The mistakes that you said you made are the same ones that I made.
And the same one probably everyone else made.
And now I'm picked up on some of the corrections now that you have made, and I'm going to implement them.
Yeah, you know, when you start something brand new, it's always a learning curve. There's always some trial and error. You know, do I have all the answers? No, not at all. Will I ever have all the answers? No, not at all. Will I have better answers next week than I have today? Yeah.
Hope so. Yeah.
I'll have made more mistakes by then. You know? So I'm going to wrap this. So thank you, Bruce, for joining. I know that we did this like last minute, threw it together. It was supposed to start at 9:30, and the links are out there. There's 3 different links for people that have never been on Hangouts before. They don't know which one to click. So people are watching. You're on it. I was on the subway for an hour and a half, 5 minutes before I actually set this thing up. So it was a real throw together, but I wanted to get it for you guys. So this is recorded on YouTube channel, The Real Tony Cohen on YouTube, which is me, live from New York City. So if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much. Feel free to reach out to me. Tony Cohen on Facebook, Real Tony Cohen on Twitter, and all the other stuff.
All right.
Thanks, Bruce, for joining.
Thank you.
And live from New York City, we're a wrap. We're out of here.
All right.